Hello guys, it's 9th of April and it's a Sensex expiry day. So we have done very good with a capital of 1.1 lakh. We made almost 50,000 profit, which is 50 percentage, which is really good. But we have made a lot of mistakes. Even I have made a lot of mistakes. You might have made mistakes today. So it's a big learning session. So watch this video till the end and you comment below if you also have made this mistake and were you able to come out of it also. Because if you have a system, you should be able to come out of it, right? So first, let me show you the trades and the orders that we have. So then you will understand, right? If you see almost 130 orders is there. So 130 orders means I have given the sample space today, right? So that means if I have the edge, if I have taken this many orders, this edge have to work in my favor for sure. Only because of that, I'm in profit today. So there's a profit of 50,000. Okay, and the capital that I have is around 1,30,000. So upon that, we made a profit. Now, if you look at the market, it's a very easy market, but why it is slightly became difficult. That's something which I need to explain to you so that you will get that knowledge. Even we have taken all these trades live in front of the mentoring participant. But before that, let me tell you. So here, you know, normally on expiry day, what you see is I start building the position with small quantities like 200, 100, 300, 2 lots, 3 lots, right? And then towards the end, we go aggressive because we have accumulated some profits with small scalping, and then we go aggressive. But today morning, what happened is looking at one candle, I got super confident, and even without reaching to our actual level, I have entered the trade and I've taken Sensex trade and I've taken with a huge quantity and I had to take a big stop loss. So initially itself, I think we have almost gone to close to 40,000 loss. First four trades with higher quantity, it went into stop loss. So today's first four trade that the reason also I will explain so that you will tell yes, of course there is nothing wrong in that trade, but stop loss was slightly higher and you have not done something which you used to do usually, because when you're building, it's like slowly you build the innings even when you're playing cricket also, right? But today you try to hit a six on the first ball itself. You try to be aggressive, and of course, market teach you a lesson. It is again, I'm stressing that the trading is about probability. So always keep that in mind, howsoever confident you are. If it goes wrong, it can go wrong, right? Even 2 out of 10 trades can go wrong, and that could be today. So be very well prepared. Don't go with that quantity. What you normally used to do the same process and repeat the process. Build that profit in the morning. Use that profit in the afternoon session to make it big profit. But what I did is in the morning, in the first half, in the morning live market mentoring session itself, we had to take a big loss, 4 stop losses. The entries were correct. I'll explain so that you will also understand. But then when you got the beautiful trade, you couldn't capitalize also. So if you see, right, let me tell you. Now, this is the chart. Okay. Now, this is the same setup you got this day also. Can you see there is a CPR and S3? Beautiful setup. First candle, you got a beautiful rejection. Then we are waiting for 20 MA to take a trade. You got a beautiful trade. Similar setup. This I explained before. This I have taken in the live session also. Similar setup is today. You got a big sell off from there and then broke, then came here. Even a bigger trade you are getting today. So today should be much more rewarding. But that day I went on the put side in the beginning itself. But today, if you see, I was slightly late on entering the put. At the same time, I was early also. Now, why I said so is because if you look at this first 1 minute candle, right, when the market opening, it's a gap down opening. So we know there is something, which is going on. There can be negativity today. So if you look at that biggest of the candle that you were getting, there is a gap down. And from here, you started seeing a big sell off. So looking at this candle, and more than that, this candle was breaking this yesterday's low. So what I have decided is, if it is coming to yesterday's low, I look for a support trade. I'll try to go on the upside. But the moment I saw that it is making an attempt to break yesterday's low, there was an intent which is shown, right? So I'm looking at this also. Initially, I kept that 1 minute time frame. Then I changed my mind. Okay, let's short it. Okay, so then what happened is when the price came here, I'm not shorting immediately here, but it tried to break yesterday's low. It have came below yesterday's low, but then reversed. So when it came here, I took a put trade. So I'll explain with each of the trades so that you will understand. And I hope most so many trades are there. Charges will be high, but again, let me tell you, this is how the probability have to work in your favor. If you have a favorable system, it's like you need to be a cat, right? You fall from whatever heights, you should be falling in four legs. That's ultimately what is required, right? Even if sometime you get trapped, if in that case you just manage your risk and come out, but rest of it you can manage accordingly. I have taken 4 trades with 100 points each today. I'll show you that also. So here 916 I'm entering, and that, what does that mean? After 1 minute I'm taking this level, so I'm not chasing this. Once I got the retracement, I've entered, but market reversed. Here my entry is at 227. I took almost 30 points stop loss. That's a big stop loss actually. And then what happened is, now let me change to 5 minutes itself so that it is easy to explain. Now what happened? Now it came here. This is another level that I'm looking at, right? So here I tried again. So after exiting it at 917, once it came to that pivot, I tried again at 215. But again, I just tried just before this. And once it came here, it was showing a reversal. So I added at 188. I went all 600 quantity. But this one, I had to take a stop loss again. I took a stop loss. So by this time itself, I am in a big loss. The same candle again in the same. This is now looking green, but it was showing reversal. It even, have turned out to be slightly red also. So I have to re-enter, and I have again re-entered at 180. Again took the stop loss. So this is a first stop loss. This one is also stop loss, and this one is also a stop loss. Okay, now what is the opportunity? Again, I have to enter, but that is your next level. There's a beautiful level. This is where I told every of the mentees also, you can go and take this trade. If you take it in Nifty, that is going to be better so that you don't get exposed to this unnecessary decay. And that's the trade of the day. So if you see here, I've taken a trade again, 926, that is here. Okay, and that is an entry at 186. And where till it went till 284. So from 186, which I've taken at 926, it went till 284 in a matter of 7 minutes. 100 points I got. So that is one trade where I got 100 points. Okay, and then again we kept entering and exiting and entering and exiting, multiple trades, right? So here, and then when they broke this low, again we took an entry, right? So okay, so after this again I got a beautiful trade. That is, I entered at 266, and you can see I've taken a stop loss at 247. 247, what is that move? This one, I got this move, I took a stop loss, but from 247 it went till 547. But I am not bothered about that, because when I saw this level is breaking, I have taken a re-entry also, right? And I got some beautiful profit somewhere here. You can see 258 I'm entering, and it went all the way till 314. So that is a 60-point trade. So 100-point trade, this is another 60-point trade. And here also I'm getting some 20 points. And again, different entries. And again, once it came here, I got a 20 EMA entry. So this was another beautiful entry which I got. Right, now comes to the afternoon session. Now in afternoon session, there is a beautiful entry. That means in 3 minutes, I got 60 points. Next 3 minutes, I got 100 points. That means in a span of 6 minutes, I got close to 150, 130 points. I'll show you that. So first trade I've taken is, when this candle came, I just went for a call till 20 EMA. That means I told my mentees, this is where I'm entering. I will exit at 20 EMA and enter put at 20 EMA. You will be surprised to see this. I'm exiting at 20 and entering other position on the put side. Call I'm exiting at 20 with close to 50-point profit, and reverse entry on the put side within 10 seconds and getting 100-point profit there. That entry is what I'll show you now. Okay, so this again, it is taken live in front of the mentoring participants, so there is nothing to hide here. This is the entry 206. You can see I'm entering call right at 176 level. Yeah, 206 I'm entering call. 27 I exited some. I closed this at 29 at 214. So 176 to 214. 40 points plus, right? So 40 point I got. So why 206? This is when I'm entering, right? And then this is where I'm exiting. That is what the timing. And can you see where I'm exiting is at 2.9. Entry is at 2.6. That's what I mean by 3 minute. I got that 40 point trade. Then after exiting at 2.9 minute, immediately 2.9 itself, in the same minute itself, where I'm entering exit of call with 50 point profit, entering put in the same minute, in a flash of second, I was on a call trade. I booked the profit, switched to put within seconds, and the price is 182, right? So you can see here price is 182. I've entered, I've added also where why I exited call, because 20 EMA, I know rejection. I look for 20 EMA trade only on the call. I look for 20 EMA rejection trade for the put. So the moment I exited call, I entered put, and look at what I got. Where is my entry? 182. Where I exit? 258, 76 points. So 50 point before, 76 points. That is 206 is the call trade entry, and entire trade is closed at 212. So in between, call I have taken 50 points, put I have taken 75 points, 125 point in just a matter of 6 minutes. And then what happened is I exited here because it can bounce from here. Then what I told my mentees is, yes, we'll plan for a trade at this breakdown. If this low is taking out, we'll take an entry. So this is a candle where you will see another entry that I'm taking at 211, because you can see I'm closing this trade at 212. That is with this candle. And then we are waiting for 10 more minutes. The moment I saw this level is breaking, that's the I'm chasing that trade now. So that is why you can see 76,800 is now shifted to 76,700, because I'm taking further lower level. That I'm entering at 211, right? So at 222, I'm entering. Now see where I'm exiting, 271, which is another 60 points. So if you see from here, 2.6, from here, there is a call trade, which got 50 points. And 2.9, we got a put trade, which got 75 points. And then this 2.22, after 10 minutes, I'm entering a trade which got 60 points. So the last three trades, which I've taken in a span of 15 minutes, given 50 plus 75 plus 60 points. That means 185 points, two of which are on the put side, one on the call side. So put side, this rejection and this breakdown. So I've taken a rejection trade, I've taken a breakdown trade, and the call trade, I've taken this one. So these three trades in a span of just 15 minutes gave me 185 points. That's how I was able to recover. That means if you have the system, if you have the setup, after that also, we got an entry at 211, and then it went till 243, and I finally closed at 229. Then again, some small trades, and some at 147, 189. So of course, when you see, the point is, I took a wrong trade. It's not wrong entry. I have explained the reason also, right? So what can happen ultimately trading is about probability. Where you have a system, the system have to work in your favor. Now the charges will be higher because you have taken so many orders. 8,000 is a charge. But think about it. I was in a loss of 50,000. I have covered that loss. I came to break even. I made further profit of 50,000, right? So, and if you look at the number of trades I have executed, so I don't think that's a big deal. If I can even come with 8,000 profit also, I'm fine, even if I need to pay 8,000 charge, because at one point I was in 50,000 loss and I covered that. If I could manage with break even, 8,000 profit today with 8,000 charge, I'm perfectly okay. Because at one point I went to 50,000 down. From there I came back. That means I have recovered almost 1 lakh. So what you need to understand is just one thing, that you are doing a business which is based on probability. What is in your favor is there is something called as edge, right? That is given by your system, your setup. And then sometimes you need to understand, even if you have a higher probability, it can go wrong. So two mistake I did is initial trades. Normally I slowly build 200 quantities. But today I went all in. I tried to hit a 6 on the first ball. That's a mistake. I should not have done that. Why I did it is because of confidence. but that was slightly a deviation from normal scenario. Because if I have gone with 200 quantity, if it's a profit, I get a profit, I get the confidence. And if it's a loss, I wouldn't have been in such a big loss. Then when I enter later, I would have got more confidence, I would have had more capital, and then I would have made big profit also, right? One example I'll show you. I didn't have capital to enter. If you look at after taking the 3 stop losses, so this one, right? Which entry helped us? Yeah, this entry is the one which gave me 100 points. Forget about that 185.5 point that I discussed in the later time, afternoon. This is 100-point trade. Which one? This 186 to 284. You can see that's where I'm exiting, trailing exit. But can you see here I've entered 600, 600, 600, but when I punched 600, I couldn't get it. I punched at 170. Then I have to change to 500 and I got it at 186. So I had to pay 15 rupee extra. I couldn't get the similar quantity. Right? Why? Capital got reduced. So if I were trading less quantity, this scenario would not have came. And in that case, I would have been got higher profit when a better scenario have came. Right? So these are things which, you also might have done these mistake, if not a bigger quantity, but you might have entered those trades looking at that breakdown, because that first candle, the way they came was so aggressive. Anyone would have tempted to go on the downside to chase that trade. But I waited still for us retracement, but still I got trapped. So imagine those who are not waiting, right? So how many of you did this mistake? How many of you closed in profit today, and how many of you lost today? And if you have lost, why did you lost? If you are in profit, how did you make that profit? If you can comment, it will be really great, so that I can also learn from you. So guys, again, all these are taken live in front of mentoring participants. So if you would like to join the live market trading sessions, get in touch with us. I see you there. Thank you.